Pokémon Black's cover legendary, Reshiram, is a very poorly designed legendary Pokémon, in competitive at least. Reshiram has never been ranked higher than a C-tier Pokémon in the Uber's singles metagame, and has even seen as low as the D-tier. On the surface you would not expect this. Reshiram's stats are pretty solid under Uber's standards. It has a solid special attack stat, great bulk across the board, an average speed tier, and an amazing offensive typing. Yet somehow it has never been great, despite having the power to be a dangerous offensive threat. Reshiram just has too many problems that stop it from actually being that threat. So why is Reshiram such a poorly designed legendary Pokémon in competitive play, and does it actually have some traits going for it that can perhaps make it a worthwhile option on certain teams? Reshiram's stats are actually on par with many of the legendary Pokémon in the Uber's tier. Its special attack and speed are the same as that of the mighty Kyogre and also Dialga, and its bulk is average as well in the Uber's tier. This is both a good and a bad thing. It's good because that means it's not underperforming, but it's a bad thing because now it has to compete with many other Pokémon which are just as strong and fast. Reshiram's offensive typing does set it apart though, as the combo of Dragon Fire is pretty much unresisted. In its debut generation, Dragon is only resisted by Steel, which Fire can hit for super effective damage. Even the exception Heatran, which can resist Dragon attacks and is immune to Fire moves thanks to its ability Flash Fire, stands no chance against Reshiram. That's because Reshiram has the ability Turbo Blaze, which allows Reshiram to ignore the target's ability when attacking, similar to the ability Mold Breaker, meaning that Heatran will be easily 2-hit KO'd by Specs Blue Flare. With Groudon's Sun up, Reshiram's Blue Flare becomes a menace to switch into. This can even 2-hit KO the bulkiest of walls like Eviolite Chansey, and 4 times resist like Palkia after Stealth Rock damage if running in Modest Nature. It can even 1-hit KO Lugia thanks to it ignoring multi-skill. It really does not need much besides Specs Draco Meteor and Blue Flare to do its job. It does have Focus Blast though, which allows to 1-hit KO Tyranitar, which is otherwise a decent check. So yeah, sounds very promising, right? Surely this is a dominating threat in the metagame. You would think that until you look at its many flaws. Reshiram's biggest weakness is the prevalence of Stealth Rock alongside other hazards. Reshiram takes 25% each time it switches into Stealth Rock, and it's also a grounded Pokemon, so it will take damage from spikes and toxic spikes too if those are on the field. This makes it incredibly hard to get Reshiram on the field and actually find opportunities for it to wall break, as those are pretty limited. This isn't the case with a similar dragon type wall breaker like Dialga for example, as it only takes 6% from Stealth Rock thanks to its part Steel typing and can switch in more reliably with its great defensive typing overall. Not to mention that Dialga is also just as strong and fast as Reshiram. Removing hazards is also quite difficult in Gen 5, as the only way to do so is with Rapid Spin, which is easily blocked by common spin blockers like Arceus Ghost and Giratina Origin. Remember that I mentioned that base 90 speed is a common speed tier in Ubers and how this is both a good and a bad thing? Base 90 speed means that Reshiram is constantly speed tying with other common threats like Kyogre, Groudon, Zekrom, Dialga, Giratina, and Ho-Oh. Now of course these Pokemon face the same issue, but Reshiram's typing offers little to no defensive utility, making it more susceptible to these foes. This is noticeable if we compare to Dialga again. Dialga's Dragon Steel typing makes it neutral to other Dragon types, while also being able to resist Kyogre's water attacks, making it a better option when facing these threats. These are qualities that Reshiram lacks. It does have the move Tailwind, which it can set up on 4 switches to boost its speed and turn it into a late game cleaner, but this only lasts for 3 turns after your initial turn of using it and can be taken advantage of if it is forced to use Draco Meteor, leaving it pretty weak. The same goes for Flame Charge sets. This average speed stat makes it hard to justify using Reshiram over these other Pokémon that are just as fast and powerful and offer way more defense utility. Not to mention that other faster dragon types can take it out, like Rayquaza, Palkia and the Loli twins. Even Ho-Oh, which takes 50% from Stealth Rock, can get away with this weakness thanks to Regenerator nullifying the majority of the damage it actually takes, and it having a great defensive typing aside from that Stealth Rock weakness. Sure, Reshiram can use Roost with Life Orb to heal up both the Stealth Rock and Life Orb chip, but you will notice that it's forced to do that a lot, which means it's not actually doing what it's designed to do, being a threatening wall breaker. Kyogre is a common Pokemon that can change the weather too, severely weakening Reshiram's damage output. Regenerator Ho-Oh is also a common wall that can take Reshiram's moves quite well thanks to its special bulk and regenerator, though it will become a liability if Stealth Rock is up. Reshiram also faces stiff competition from its successor, Kyurem White. Kyurem White is not only significantly stronger with its 170 base special attack stat, but also faster with its 95 base speed, allowing it to get the jump on those many 90 base speed Pokemon, including Reshiram itself. This can make using Reshiram hard to justify as Kyurem White does the same thing, but better, though they have some slight differences. By the way, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free and lets me know you want more content like this, so thank you. Reshiram became even worse with its reintroduction in Generation 6. Sure, the default buff helped it out against the hazards, but there were many new problems in this generation. It was practically impossible to take advantage of sun thanks to the nerf to weather, and oh yeah, Primal Kyogre was also a thing now, which easily checked Reshiram too. Reshiram is one of the Pokemon that's not only checked by Primal Kyogre, but also Primal Groudon. Primal Groudon also outclasses Reshiram as a specially offensive fire type, as it boasts the same special attack stat and has permanent sun up, which makes it immune to water moves on top of its resistance against fairy, allowing it to check Xerneas as well, which is something that Reshiram lacks. Not to mention that Draco Meteor got nerfed from 140 base power to 130 and now is less spammable thanks to the introduction of fairy types. At least Reshiram is not weak to fairy moves, but that's still something that the aforementioned Dialga also is going for it, while also being able to threaten these fairies with a super effective flash cannon. While in Gen 8 the Primals and Megas got removed, Reshiram now had to deal with the newly introduced Eternatus. Eternatus is faster and nearly as strong, allowing it to threaten Reshiram with a 1-8 KO, as well as offering more utility for its team. Sure, Reshiram gained heavy duty boots as an option to get rid of its Stealth Rock weakness, but it comes at the cost of a significant power drop with the lack of specs or Life Orb. I wouldn't be surprised to see Reshiram fall down even further if it does return to Gen 9. Koraidon and Miraidon absolutely dominate the Gen 9 Uber's metagame, both of which can easily outspeed and 1-hit KO Reshiram, as well as Miraidon being a significantly better wall breaker. Not to mention the prevalence of Pokemon like Ting-Lu, Arceus Fairy, Kyogre and Eternatus. Let me know your thoughts about Reshiram. How do you think it will perform in Gen 9? If it were to return. Consider becoming a channel member to get access to exclusive emotes and channel perks. Thank you for watching and see you next time.